That immortal Brahman alone is before. That Brahman is behind. That Brahman is to the right and left. Brahman alone pervades everything above and below. This universe is that supreme Brahman alone. Om is the bow. The Atman is the arrow. Brahman is said to be the mark. It is to be struck by an undistracted mind. Then the Atman becomes one with Brahman, as the arrow with the target. The knowing self is not born. It does not die. It has not sprung from anything. Nothing has sprung from it. Earthless, eternal, everlasting, and ancient. It is not killed when the body is killed. The wise man beholds all beings in true self, and true self in all beings. For that reason, he does not hate anyone. It is indeed the mind that is the cause of men's bondage and liberation. The mind that is attached to sense objects leads to bondage while dissociated. From sense objects it tends to lead to liberation. To the seer, all things have verily become true self. What delusion, what sorrow can there be for him who beholds that oneness? Dissolves true self in the supreme self, as the pot space is dissolved in infinite space. Then, as the infinite, be silent forever, O sage. Knowing that great and all-pervading self, by which one sees the objects both in the sleep and the waking states, the intelligent man grieves no more. fools dwelling in darkness, but wise in their own conceit, and puffed up with vain scholarship, wander about, being afflicted by many ills, like blind men led by the blind. He who perceives all beings and true self alone, and true self in all beings, does not entertain any hatred on account of that perception. That which is consciousness alone, which is all-pervading, which is eternal, which is all-full, which is of the form of bliss, and which is indestructible, is the only true Brahman. Like the butter hidden in milk, the pure consciousness resides in every being. That ought to be constantly churned out by the churning rod of the mind. In order to realize true self, renounce everything. Having cast off all objects, assimilate yourself to that which remains. When all longings that are in the heart vanish, then a mortal becomes immortal and attains Brahman here. As rivers, flowing down, become indistinguishable on reaching the sea by giving up their names and forms, so also the illumined soul, having become freed from name and form, reaches true self-effulgent Supreme Self. Arise, awake, approach the great and learn. Like the sharp edge of a razor is that path, so the wise say hard to tread and difficult to cross. That which cannot be expressed by speech, but by which speech is expressed, that alone know as Brahman, and not that which people here worship. The mind alone is the cause of bondage or liberation for humans. The mind attached to sense objects leads to bondage, and when detached from them, that is liberation. The whole universe is the eye of true self. No true self as Lord of the chariot, the body as the chariot itself, the discriminating intellect as the charioteer, and the mind as the reins. From fear of non-existence, the rivers flow. From fear of non-existence, the seasons come. And from fear of non-existence, the sun shines. As water, when poured into water, becomes one and the same, so does true self of the illumined man when merged in true self. The seers of truth speak of the unchanging, imperishable self within all creatures, though dwelling in the midst of the senses. The wise man is free from attachment and fear. true self-existent Supreme Lord himself doth harmonize the battle of the elements within the body by his power of will. The wise man beholding all beings in true self, and true self in all beings willfully renounces all attachments, and reaches the state of non-attachment. Just as a mirror exists to reflect images, true self exists to reflect all experiences. It is untouched, perfect, and ever pure. True self is hidden in the hearts of all creatures. They live in truth who have found true self within true self. As flowing rivers disappear into the sea, losing their name and form, so a wise person, freed from name and form, attains the supreme goal. The embodied soul is eternal and immutable. It neither acts nor causes others to act. There is neither day nor night, nor existence or non-existence for true self. True self is alone the light of all lights. One who knows true self as the real self knows all things, both within and without, as true self only. True self cannot be cut, burnt, wetted, or dried up. It is eternal, all-pervading, unchanging, and immovable. That which is not heard by the ears, but which the mind apprehends, know that alone, as the Supreme Brahman, not this that is adored. All actions are, indeed, performed by the gunas constituents of nature, but he whose self is deluded by egoism considers himself the doer. No true self to be imperishable, unborn, and indestructible. It is not slain when the body is slain. There is only one eternal truth, one eternal essence, one eternal consciousness, and one eternal bliss. True self is the master of the chariot. The body is the chariot, the intellect is the charioteer, and the mind is the reins. In deep meditation, the wise man sees true self, the Lord within his own heart, he becomes free from attachments, knows the ultimate truth, and attains eternal peace. True self is like a bird sitting on a tree, unconcerned and unattached, looking down upon the fruit. True self is everywhere, always, and with everyone. Knowing ourselves is the beginning of all wisdom. Discovering our true selves is the purpose of our lives. True wisdom does not come from material knowledge, but from inner inquiry. Knowing our true nature is the most important knowledge. True self exists in many forms, but is essentially connected by one truth. As we walk our separate paths, we are connected to each other's truth. Finding inner peace is the most important goal in life. It allows us to find stability amidst external chaos. True happiness does not depend on external conditions, but comes from within. We can create happiness through our choices and attitudes. Everything we have may change over time, but our true self is always present. Through this self, we can experience eternal existence. Life on earth is an experience of the soul, and we must grow and learn from it. Every experience is an opportunity for the soul to evolve. This universe is filled with love, and we are the expression of this love. Through love, we understand and connect with each other. All beings are connected by one energy, and through this energy, we influence each other. Therefore, our actions have significance. Every thought of men is interwoven with the senses, and when thought is purified, then true self arises. Know that all this, whatever moves in this moving world, is enveloped by God. Therefore, find your enjoyment in renunciation. Do not covet what belongs to others. This earth is the honey of all beings, and all beings are the honey of this earth. See how it was with those who came before, how it will be with those who are living. Like corn mortals ripen and fall, like corn they come up again. Fools dwelling in darkness, but thinking themselves wise and erudite, go round and round by various tortuous paths, like the blind led by the blind. This vast universe is a wheel, the wheel of Brahman. Upon it are all creatures that are subject to birth, death, and rebirth. Round and round it turns and never stops. As long as the individual self thinks it is separate from the Lord, it revolves upon the wheel in bondage to the laws of birth, death, and rebirth. The Lord supports this universe, which is made up of the perishable and the imperishable, the manifest and the unmanifest. True self, having in dreams enjoyed the pleasures of sense, gone hither and thither, experienced good and evil, hastens back to the state of waking from which he started. As a man passes from dream to wakefulness, so does he pass from this life to the next. When a man is about to die, the subtle body, mounted by the intelligent self, groans as a heavily laden cart groans under its burden. When his body becomes thin through old age or disease, the dying man separates himself from his limbs, even as a mango or a fig or a banyan fruit separates itself from its stalk, and by the same way that he came, he hastens to his new abode, and there assumes another body in which to begin a new life. Everyone is aware of the experiences. No one sees the experiencer. As one not knowing that a golden treasure lies buried beneath his feet may walk over it again and again, yet never find it, so all beings live every moment in the city of Brahman, yet never find him because of the veil of illusion by which he is concealed. Smaller than the smallest, greater than the greatest. This self forever dwells within the hearts of all. When a man is free from desire, his mind and senses purified, he beholds the glory of true self and is without sorrow. Though seated, he travels far. Though at rest, he moves all things. Who but the purest of the pure can realize this effulgent being, who is joy and who is beyond joy? Formless is he, though inhabiting form. In the midst of the fleeting, he abides forever. All-pervading and supreme is true self. The wise man, knowing him in his true nature, transcends all grief. At whose behest does the mind think? Who bids the body live? Who makes the tongue speak? Who is that effulgent being that directs the eye to form and color and the ear to sound? True self is one. Ever still, true self is swifter than thought, swifter than the senses. Though motionless, he outruns all pursuit. Without true self, never could life exist. As long as there is duality, one sees the other, one hears the other, one smells the other, one speaks to the other, one thinks of the other, one knows the other. But when, for the illumined soul, the all is dissolved in true self, who is there to be seen by whom? The eye cannot see it. The mind cannot grasp it. The deathless self has neither caste nor race, neither eyes nor ears nor hands nor feet. Sages say this self is infinite in the great and in the small, everlasting and changeless, the source of life. If you think that you know well the truth of Brahman, know that you know little. What you think to be Brahman, in yourself, or what you think to be Brahman, in the gods that is not Brahman. What is indeed the truth of Brahman, you must therefore learn. He is the one God, hidden in all beings, all-pervading, true self within all beings, watching over all works, dwelling in all beings, the witness, the perceiver, the only one free from qualities. I cannot see him, nor words reveal him. By the senses, austerity, or works, he is not known. When the mind is cleansed by the grace of wisdom, he is seen by contemplation, the one without parts. Now my breath and spirit goes to the immortal, and this body ends in ashes. O M, O mind, remember the deeds, remember the actions. Aham Brahmasmi, I am infinite, I am divine. By standing still, we overtake those that are running. Liberated from the grip of egoism. Like the moon, full, ever blissful, self-luminous, one attains one's essence. That which is consciousness alone, which is all-pervading, which is eternal, which is all-full, which is of the form of bliss, and which is indestructible, is the only true Brahman. Bondage is the imagination prompted by the desire for the 8 powers. Man is bound by mine, but he is released by not mine. He should abandon all the thoughts relating to externals, and so also with references to internals. Having given up all thoughts, you should rest ever. Being first in a state of changelessness, and then thoroughly forgetting that state, owing to the cognition of the nature of Brahman, this is called samadhi. The little space within the heart is as great as the vast universe. The heavens and the earth are there, and the sun and the moon and the stars. Fire and lightning and winds are there, and all that is not. You are what your deep, driving desire is. As your desire is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny. Fire is his head, the sun and moon his eyes. Space his ears, the Vedas his speech, the wind his breath, the universe his heart. From his feet the earth has originated. Verily, he is the inner self of all beings. Meditation here is not reflection or any other kind of discursive thinking. It is pure concentration. It is a state of intense inner wakefulness. Dreams are real as long as they last. Can we say more of life? Place the salt in water and bring it here tomorrow morning. The boy did. Where is that salt? His father asked. I do not see it. Sip here. How does it taste? Salty. Father, and here? And there? I taste salt everywhere. It is everywhere, though we see it not. Just so, dear one, true self is everywhere, within all things, although we see it not. There is nothing that does not come from it. It is the truth. It is true self-supreme. You are that, Shveta Ketu. You are that. There is no joy in the finite. There is joy only in the infinite. Who is better able to know God than I myself? Since he resides in my heart and is the very essence of my being, such should be the attitude of one who is seeking. That which is not comprehended by the mind, but by which the mind comprehends know that. As by knowing one tool of iron, dear one, we come to know all things made out of iron, that they differ only in name and form, while the stuff of which all are made is iron. So through spiritual wisdom, dear one, we come to know that all of life is one. To darkness are they doomed who worship only the body, and to greater darkness they who worship only the spirit. The desire for liberation arises in human beings at the end of many births through the ripening of their past virtuous conduct. Only he who has a coordinated understanding of both the visible and the invisible, of matter and spirit, of activity and that which is behind activity, conquers nature and thus overcomes death. That which comes out of the infinite whole must also be infinite. Hence true self is infinite. That is the ocean. We are the drops. So long as the drop remains separate from the ocean, it is small and weak. But when it is one with the ocean, then it has all the strength of the ocean. Similarly, so long as man believes himself to be separate from the whole, he is helpless. But when he identifies himself with it, then he transcends all weakness and partakes of its omnipotent qualities. The infinite free, unbounded, full of joy is our native state. Materialism leads us to lose awareness of our inner life, which is bad enough. But to be hypnotized by our own feelings and sensations and forget about others in the world around us is worse. As fire, though one, takes the shape of every object which it consumes, so true self, though one, takes the shape of every object in which it dwells. You're what your deep, driving desire is. As your desire is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny. He is the one who recognizes true self everywhere and is never afraid, for through his high consciousness, he feels himself to be one with all life, When a person sees God in all beings, when he sees that God dwells within his own soul, how can he hate any living being? The eye does not reach there, nor does speech, nor does the mind. We do not know it. It is different from the known and also transcends the unknown. Birth is only the beginning of the journey to death. Despite all the love of our parents, they cannot stop it. And in a sense, by giving us birth, they have given us up to death. The sun, the eye of the world, cannot be tainted by the defects in our eyes or by the objects it sees. So the one self that dwells in all beings cannot be tainted by the evils of the world, for this self transcends all things. The all-knowing self has never been born, nor can it die. This self, transcending cause and effect, is eternal and immutable. When the body dies, true self does not die. If the killer believes that he can kill, or if the killed believes that he can be killed, both are ignorant of the truth. The eternal self neither kills nor is killed. As one who is embraced by the beloved knows neither outside nor inside. So one who is united with true self knows neither outside nor inside. In that state of unity, all desires are completely fulfilled. The general teaching of the Upanishads is that works alone, even the highest, can bring only temporary happiness, and must inevitably bind a man unless through them he gains knowledge of his real self. There is no joy in the finite. There is joy only in the infinite. Behold the glory of God in the universe, and all that lives and moves on earth. Leaving the transient, find joy in the eternal. Even by the mind, this truth is to be learned. There are not many, but only one. In the beginning, there was only true self. He reflected and saw that there was nothing but himself, whereupon he exclaimed, I am Aham. As the rivers flowing east and west merge in the sea and become one with it, forgetting they were ever separate rivers, so do all creatures lose their separateness when they merge at last into pure being. Brahman is the first cause and last refuge. Brahman, the hidden self in everyone, does not shine forth. He is revealed only to those who keep their mind one-pointed on the Lord of Love, and thus develop a superconscious manner of knowing. Meditation enables them to go deeper and deeper into consciousness, from the world of words to the world of thoughts, then beyond thoughts to wisdom and true self. Brahman is beyond all duality, beyond the reach of thinker and thought. Covet nothing. All belongs to the Lord. Thus working you may live 100 years. Thus alone will you work in real freedom. In the secret cave of the heart, two are seated by life's fountain. The separate ego drinks of the sweet and bitter stuff, liking the sweet, disliking the bitter, while the Supreme Self drinks sweet and bitter, neither liking this nor disliking that. The ego gropes in darkness, while true self lives in light. You are the Supreme Brahman, infinite, yet hidden in the hearts of all creatures. You pervade everything. Meditate and realize this world is filled with the presence of God. Though the Infinite One is without color, he colors the entire universe. Though immortal, he is born, lives, and dies. That one is all that was, and is, and will be, yet he is always the same. He is the supreme, unchanging, absolute. He becomes the fire, the sun, the wind, and the moon. He becomes the starry heavens and the vast waters, giving life to all. Those who dwell on and long for sense pleasure are born in a world of separateness. But let them realize they are true self, and all separateness will fall away. Those who attain the supreme goal of realizing true self and passing beyond all sorrow shine bright as a mirror which has been cleansed of dust. In the supreme climax of Samadhi, they realize the presence of the Lord within their heart. Freed from impurities, they pass forever beyond birth and death. What use are the scriptures to anyone who knows not the one source from whom they come, in whom all gods and worlds abide? Only those who realize him as ever present within the heart attain abiding joy. Forgetting our divine origin, we become ensnared in the world of change and bewail our helplessness. But when we see the Lord of love in all his glory, adored by all, we go beyond sorrow. Two birds of beautiful plumage, comrades inseparable, live on true self same tree. One bird eats the fruit of pleasure and pain. The other looks on without eating. True self in the very depths of consciousness. Realize him through truth and meditation. True self is hidden in the hearts of all, as butter lies hidden in cream. Realize true self in the depths of meditation, the Lord of Love, supreme reality, who is the goal of all knowledge. Know him to be enshrined in your heart always. Truly, there is nothing more in life to know. Meditate and realize this world is filled with the presence of God. Know God and all fetters will fall away. No longer identifying yourself with the body. Go beyond birth and death. All your desires will be fulfilled in him who is one without a second. All is change in the world of the senses, but changeless is the supreme Lord of Love. Meditate on him, be absorbed in him, wake up from this dream of separateness. Those who see all creatures in themselves, and themselves in all creatures know no fear. Those who see all creatures in themselves, and themselves in all creatures know no grief. How can the multiplicity of life delude the one who sees its unity? Lord is enshrined in the hearts of all. The Lord is the supreme reality. Rejoice in him through renunciation. Covet nothing. All belongs to the Lord. Thus working may you live 100 years. Thus alone will you work in real freedom. Seek to know him from whom all beings have come, by whom they all live, and unto whom they all return. He is Brahman. The general teaching of the Upanishads is, that works alone, even the highest, can bring only temporary happiness and must inevitably bind a man unless through them he gains knowledge of his real self. Human beings cannot live without challenge. We cannot live without meaning. Everything ever achieved we owe to this inexplicable urge to reach beyond our grasp, do the impossible, know the unknown. The Upanishads would say, this urge is part of our evolutionary heritage, given to us for the ultimate adventure, to discover for certain who we are, what the universe is, and what is the significance of the brief drama of life and death we play out against the backdrop of eternity.